everybody, Dave here for the next instalment of Dave Gets Wood, of which I am going to be fast forwarding once we get going. Okay, the resin has been sanded, the glue has been sanded, the table has been cleaned, it's been cleaned with white spirits a couple of times. I've put some masking tape around the edge, not precisely, it's just there to catch any major drips. So basically what I've decided to do, is it is quite late, but I've decided I'm going to try and get a coat on this so that tomorrow this will be dry and I can turn it over and we can have a look at the top. So I'm not going to hang about, we'll fast forward and we'll see how we get on. So it's a warm night though. Right, let's see how this goes. Hello everybody, bit of an update. I'm fucked, I'm knackered. It is hot in here, and although I've got a fan on, it's pointing in that direction, not this direction, because I don't want it affecting the table. So I'm going to have to go and sit in front of that for a while because I am roasting, and it's been a long time since I've actually varnished anything. The last thing would have been that I've varnished. The bookshelf, the little bookshelf. Was it the thing I made for Holly? Might be that thing I made for Holly. Oh yeah, so I'm buggered after that. I tried to sort of do it quickly because of how hot it is, and also, as per usual, the first coat gets soaked in very quickly. It was actually surprisingly difficult when I was applying it to be able to see where I'd been. I don't know how it looked on the camera, because to be honest the quality of the camera at the moment is not looking that great. Yeah, so with the way the lighting is and everything, it was a little bit difficult, especially when I came to this side, like swap side to the table. It was very difficult to see how it was applying given the lighting situation. It looks like it's applied quite nicely. The colour is what I really like. The colour is it's kind of golden-ish a bit. Now, what I would say is, as soon as I started applying it, I realised, yeah, okay, the dark oak, the gloss dark oak, I think was the right decision. And to be honest, it seemed to apply quite nicely. And I think a big part of that will be down to the amount of preparation that I've done on the underside of this table. I mean, let's put it this way, I've done a hell of a lot of hours of preparation for a part of a table that will never be fucking seen. But it'll be worth it. It should be in the end. And to be honest, with how it was applying, it's actually made me think maybe I should go with whacking another coat on it before I turn it over. I mean, if we think about it, given that where the table is now and the position it's in, it would in a way make sense to apply all of the coats of dark oak on the underside of the table while it's like it is, rather than having to turn it over and turn it back over. So I could effectively finish the underside of the table. Now what I could do as well is, once I've got the colour to the point that I want, what I would normally do is go with the gloss, clear gloss. I'm sweating so much. Give me a second. I've earned that today. Yeah, so we'd go with the clear gloss. So once we've got the colour right, we could actually effectively leave it, rather than going with the clear gloss. Because one of the things I don't want to do is I don't want to have the masking tape on there for too long, because basically if any excess has got in to the sides, I'd want to be able to deal with that, cover it up best as I can. But there we go. But then saying that, I mean, this dark oak varnish, it doesn't really add a colour, it kind of more gives a wet look. But also what I've got to remember is I kind of need to be able to match it to the legs, which have already been, they're finished, they're ready. And I can't remember for the fucking life of me how many coats of varnish they had. So anyone watching this that remembers, let me know. I've got a feeling it was quite a few. But anyway, but for the underside of the table, we don't need to go mental with the amount of dark oak layers, really. As long as we get a couple of... we're saying that we don't really need to go with a clear gloss on the underside. Okay, so that, right. The whole point of clear gloss is to add layers, right, that you can polish without adding colour. Well, I'm not going to be polishing the underside of the table, so the clear coats are pointless on the underneath. Now the dark oak ones is worth it to get the colour looking right, and to also find out how it's going to look on the wood. So yeah, now to be honest, this is something that I've not really been thinking about much at all, really. I've just sort of been I've been struggling a lot lately with many different things, and doing my projects is one thing that has suffered. So I've not really been able to go to look at grand plan and look at short-term plan. It's more sort of been, okay, I'm knackered, but what can I do? Or I've got a little bit of time. Is there anything that I can do? And I've been having to force myself recently, and it's not been easy. But varnishing that, it's a boost. It's one of the reasons why I've actually gone ahead and done this tonight, even though it's, well, it's now 20 to 1 in the morning. I've done it because it has made me feel better, and I am tempted to do the second coat as soon as physically possible. Now, common sense would perhaps say leave it till tomorrow, which, you know, I will do that, because I've already pushed myself too far. I'm already hot and sweaty. I've already dripped sweat on the table that I've had to mop up. So I think what I'll do with this, whereas with some other projects I've kind of not necessarily rushed it, but I've sort of had a group of things to varnish, and varnish the sides that I can, and then gone back to the first piece and sort of turned it to do the other sides. And I've not really been leaving that hour or so that it really needs. So I will leave it until tomorrow. So when tomorrow comes, this coat will become completely soaked in, be completely dried, and then tomorrow we can have a good look at it. We'll see whether we think that we need to give it a little light sanding, whether I want to do a light sanding between each coat. But yeah, but also get one of the legs out, put it near it to see how far off I am on the colours, because for some reason I'm thinking it was 8 coats on the legs, but I don't know if that's right. I'm gonna have to check. I'll have to look back at some of the videos. Right, anyway, that's enough waffle from me for this evening, so I am going to try and cool down, and yeah, we're getting there with the table. We're actually not far off seeing the top of the table for the first time in probably about a year, and I've no idea what condition it's in. And that's something else that I'm going to need to sort out, is that when I do turn this table over, if the underside is finished, or even if it's not finished, I'm going to need something on the table it's on to protect it. Because on the videos you may have seen me spinning the table around and stuff like that, there's a good chance that's marked the tabletop. I'm expecting that. I was aware of that when I was turning the table. Whereas now that that's got a coat on, part of the reason for that was to protect it, but I definitely don't want that marking now, and having to redo a load of stuff on it. Right, have a good one, everybody. We'll be back soon for another episode of Dave Gets Wood. I will also try and do some more racing videos as well. I know that's the thing that's predominantly on my channel, but having said that, I only ever really do what? I'm going to say I only ever really do the videos for me, and I suppose that's true. It is. I mean, especially these are the woodworking ones. With the racing and some of the other stuff, yeah, people want to watch it, cool. But it's not like I'm trying to be a YouTuber or anything like that. If I was, I'd be trying to put content out either 3, 4, 5 times a week, or I'd be live streaming most evenings, or whatever it may be. But that's not the route I'm going down, really. It's just me, especially with these woodworking ones, it's me and my thoughts while I'm doing some projects. Right, check out Dynamic GT League's YouTube channel as well for their race videos. That's where I do my racing at the moment. The Ferrari Championship that we're going to be doing, the is it La Coppa dell'Asinio Rampante, will be starting soon, a couple of weeks. So yeah. Right, see you in a bit. Bye.